Hi, boys and girls. I hope you guys had a really nice Valentine's Day on Sunday and a nice 4-day weekend. I got to see my son this weekend. My son is 30 years old. He's a grown-up, but he met us in Palm Springs, and it was so good to see him. And the reason is that I'm a mommy. And even though my kids are older, I still love them just as much as I did when they were little babies and toddlers and in elementary school and in kindergarten and in high school. And so when you're a mommy, you love your kids forever and ever. And when you're a child, you love your parents forever and ever, right? Well, I'm going to read you one of my very favorite stories. It's called Love You Forever. And I always like to read this around Valentine's Day because it's about love. Sometimes I read it for Mother's Day too. Okay, Love You Forever. A mother held her new baby and very slowly rocked him back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And while she held him, she sang, I'll love you forever, I'll like you for always, as long as I'm living, my baby you'll be. So there's a mommy, she just had the baby, and she's in the nursery, she's rocking her baby back and forth, and singing him a little lullaby. The baby grew. He grew and he grew and he grew. He grew until he was 2 years old, and he ran all over the house. He pulled all the books off the shelves. He pulled all the food out of the refrigerator, and he took his mother's watch and flushed it down the toilet. Sometimes his mother would say, this kid is driving me crazy. There he is. He's only 2 years old. He's making a big mess in the bathroom. Look what he's doing. If you guys have little brothers and sisters, you might say, hey, my little brother or sister does that too. But at nighttime, when that 2-year-old was quiet, she opened the door to his room, crawled across the floor, looked up over the side of his bed, and if he was really asleep, she picked him up and rocked him back and forth, back and forth. And while she rocked him, she sang, I will love you forever, I'll like you for always, as long as I'm living, my baby you'll be. So he's 2 years old there. He's still kind of a baby, isn't he? That little boy grew. He grew and he grew and he grew. Look at how big he is now. He grew until he was 9 years old, and he never wanted to come in for dinner. He never wanted to take a bath, and when Grandma visited, he always said bad words. Sometimes his mother wanted to sell him to the zoo. That's just a joke, isn't it? Okay, so there he is. He's 9 years old. But at nighttime, when he was asleep, the mother quietly opened the door to his room. She crawled across the floor, looked up over the side of his bed, and if he was asleep, really asleep, she picked up that 9-year-old boy and rocked him back and forth and back and forth. And while she rocked him, she sang, I will love you forever, I'll like you for always, as long as you're living, my baby you'll be. That boy grew. He grew and he grew and he grew. He grew until he was a teenager. He had strange friends and he wore strange clothes and he listened to strange music. Sometimes his mother felt like she was in a zoo. Look at the boy. He's a teenager and he's got friends over. They're kind of making a mess and singing loud songs. But at nighttime, when that teenager was asleep, the mother opened the door to his room, crawled across the floor, looked up over the side of the bed, and if he really was asleep, she picked up that great big boy and rocked him back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. While she rocked him, she sang, I will love you forever, I'll like you for always, as long as I'm living, my baby you'll be. Let's see what happens next. That teenager grew. He grew and he grew and he grew. He grew until he was a grown-up man. He left home and got a house across town. So look, when you're a grown-up, when you're all grown up, you will move away from your mom and daddy. You'll move out of your house and you'll get your own house. But sometimes on dark nights, that mother got into her car and drove across town. I have to show you this. Look at, she's going to her son's house and she's got a ladder. What do you think she's gonna do? If all the lights in her son's house were out, she opened his bedroom window, crawled across the floor and looked up over the side of his bed. If that great big man was really asleep, she picked him up and rocked him back and forth and back and forth. And while she rocked him, she sang, I will love you forever, I'll like you for always, as long as I'm living, my baby you'll be. Look at, she crawled through his window and he's asleep, but she's still holding. She still thinks he's her baby, right? Even though he's all grown up, he's still her baby. Well, that mother, she got old. She got older and older and older. One day she called up her son and said, you better come see me because I'm very old and I'm very sick. So her son came to see her. When he came to the door, she tried to sing the song. She said, I'll love you forever, I'll like you for always. But she couldn't finish it because she was too old and too sick. So here's the man getting the phone call. He's going to go visit his mother, and she's very old. I don't know, maybe she's 100, like we talked about last week. The son went to his mother. He picked her up and rocked her back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And he sang this song, I will love you forever, I'll like you for always, as long as I'm living, my mommy you'll be. So look, now the boy's all grown up and he's a man, but now the mommy's old. Now the mommy is a grandma, isn't she? She looks very old. So her son comes to her house and he rocks her in the rocking chair. And that is, oops, when the son came home that night, he stood for a long time at the top of the stairs. So here's the boy all grown up in his own house. He goes into his baby's room. Then he went into the room where his very new baby daughter was sleeping. He picked her up in his arms and very slowly rocked her back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And while he rocked her, he sang, I will love you forever, I'll like you for always, as long as I'm living, my baby you'll be. And that is the end. Isn't that a nice book? I actually got through it without any tears. Do you see why? It's a little sad because the mother grows up and she gets really, really old. But it's happy because she loves her son forever. When he was first born, when he was a little 2-year-old, when he was a 9-year-old, when he was a teenager, when he was a man, she's always going to love him forever and ever. And he's always going to love his mommy forever and ever. And he's going to love his new baby forever and ever. So that's what forever means, right? So what I want you guys to do today is get out this. Here, let me show you the paper. It's the last page we're going to do in that little packet. Yeah, I just couldn't fit it in last week. We had many other things to do. So it was at the, oops, sorry about that. It was at the back of this. I put it at the back so you could just pull it off, right? Okay, and it says, something I will love forever is, now I want you to write your own story here. I'm going to give you a couple of ideas, but what I want you to do is I don't want you to say, something I will love forever is my toys, because you know what, think about it. You might love your toys right now, but do you think when you're a grown-up, you're still going to love your toys? Okay, you might say now you love your teddy bear, but when you probably have your own house someday and your own kids, you probably still won't have your teddy bear, right? All right, now I love Romeo and I love him, but you know what? Dogs don't live as long as people do. And so, you know what? I've had a lot of dogs and I've had a few cats in my life, but that's nothing compared to loving my kids forever or loving my husband forever or my mommy and daddy. So this is what I want you to do. I want you to think of something that you will love forever. You're 5 or 6 years old now, but you're still going to love this person or these people when you're a teenager and when you're a grown-up and when you're old. You're going to love these people forever. So it's probably going to be your mommy and daddy, okay, brother and sister, or you could even say my family, all right? So this, I'll go ahead and do this. I want you to write with a pencil, something I will love forever is, and then why don't we do this? Instead of just saying my family, I think I'm going to say I'll show you in a minute, and I'm only going to use one finger space because this paper, the lines are very small. I will love, and then I'm going to write I think I can fit that all up on top. And then I'm going to say family. Family. If you want to just say mom and dad, you can. But I think it's probably a good idea because if you say family, that covers everybody, right? That covers your family and your aunts and uncles and grandmas and grandpa. I will love my family forever. Now I'll show you something here. You're not going to need too much help. I'm going to put an exclamation mark instead of a period because look, you know the word I, right? And then will, ill, you can sound that out. You know love, L-O-V-E spells love. You know my, that's a sight word. Family, am, l, and then that's a tricky Y. And then forever is up here. And the word love is up here also too. Oh, and I will. So you can look and see if you don't know how to spell those words. You can get a little help from your parents. And then down here is your name, okay? Now, if you want to say, I will love my mom and dad forever, if you run out of room, you could put your, you could write down here and then just put your name underneath. Now, since there's some room here, I want to draw maybe, I'll draw a little picture of my family. I'm just going to draw me and my husband and my son and my daughter, okay? And maybe I'll put Romeo in there too. Now, I'm also going to trace over this with a black marker, and I'm going to color this. And I want to put this in our kindergarten memory book. So let me just kind of show you. Here, this is colored. So I used markers, and I used Valentine colors. I used blue, magenta, pink. These are the colors I had. This is actually, oh, I'm sorry, that's not blue. It's purple. Sort of looks blue here, but it's purple, magenta, red, pink, okay? That's how I did this one. Don't color this. I think this looks nice white, especially because you're writing this here. Here's one that I did, and I put some glitter on. So I also use, this is pink. It's kind of hard to tell. It blends in with that red, but purple, pink, red. And I drew a heart down here. I didn't write my name here, but I will. And I traced over this with a black marker so it shows up really good. And I will finish this one up and put it on the assignment page. But what I want you to do, if you have glitter at home and you want to put some shiny glitter around it, or, you know, a little stickers or jewels or sequins to make it shiny, you can. You don't have to. If you don't have those at home, just leave it like this. And I think, parents, I'd rather have you leave it like this and not cut it out, okay? That's when I get these back from you, I will cut them out, and I'm going to probably glue them on another piece of paper, probably pink. That would be pretty. And then they'll slide right into your memory book. But if you have the glitter at home and you want to put it on there, great. If not, I could put that on there later. It doesn't really have to have glitter. It just makes it nice and shiny and pretty. Okay, that's it. Have fun doing your I will love you forever. I like you for always. As long as you're living, my baby you'll be. All right, bye-bye.